Well, back in mid-January, some of you remember the story. It was probably a bigger story here in California than it was nationally, but back in mid-January, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, issued a notice of violation to Fiat Chrysler automobiles, or FCA, for alleged violations of the Clean Air Act. And at issue was FCA's not disclosing that the engine management software in some of their light-duty diesel vehicles resulted in increased emissions of nitrogen oxides, or NOx. The allegations cover roughly 104,000 vehicles, the 2014, 2015, 2016 Jeep Grand Cherokees, and the Dodge Ram 1500 trucks, all with 3-liter diesel engines sold in the United States. Now, the EPA is working in coordination with the California Air Resources Board, which has also issued a notice of violation to FCA. EPA and CARB have both initiated investigations based on FCA's alleged actions. Now, if this sounds a lot like the Volkswagen debacle, yeah, I don't know, kind of. I mean, there is a real difference. VW was apparently truly trying to cheat the system by only kicking in their emissions reduction system when it was being tested. The software could actually detect when a car was on a dynamometer. So we'd go, oh, I'm on a dynamometer, turn on the emissions control. When I'm not on a dynamometer, turn it off.
It's actually kind of brilliant engineering.
It was brilliant engineering. But unfortunately, that guy probably isn't working for VW anymore.
No.
This wasn't the case, it doesn't seem, with Fiat Chrysler. They claim, FCA claims essentially that their diesel engines are equipped with state-of-the-art emission control systems hardware, including selective catalytic reduction, or SCR, that only turns off the emission systems in cases where engine durability or safety, engine damage, that sort of thing might occur. So kind of in extreme cases, that is the only time they would turn off their emissions control. The EPA is hinting, however, but not outright saying, as they did with VW, that FCA is trying to cheat, that emissions from those FCA vehicles went up during, quote, conditions which may have reasonably be expected to be encountered in normal vehicle operation and use. So, was the FCA trying to cheat? Well, what some gearheads think is that FCA may have been designing their SCR to operate maybe a bit too close to the EPA specs, and you wouldn't be surprised at that, and that they may actually just have kind of overcalculated. Yeah. And some people say those FCA, the EPA specs, it's a little ambiguous what they're trying to do with them, and so, were they really cheating or not? Regardless, the Clean Air Act does require vehicle manufacturers to demonstrate to the EPA through a certification process that their products meet applicable federal emission standards to control air pollution, and as part of the certification process, automakers are required to disclose and explain any software that can alter how a vehicle emits air pollution. So FCA did not disclose that software to the EPA, and by so doing ran afoul of provisions of the Clean Air Act. FCA did say that they spent months providing a lot of information in response to requests from EPA and other governmental authorities, and has sought to explain its emissions control technology to EPA representatives. They have also proposed a number of actions to address EPA's concerns, including developing extensive software changes to their emissions control strategies that could be implemented in their vehicles going forward. They also said that they intend to work with the incoming administration to present their case and resolve this matter fairly and equitably. And
we'll see how that works.
I think they're going to, well, I got a feeling they're probably going to get a better reception. This is one of those, to me, and I think to most people who looked at it, it seems like FCA was trying to play close to the rules, and that they went over. It doesn't appear to be outright cheating in the same way that it appears that VW did. I mean, VW, it seemed pretty obvious that they were definitely trying to detect when they're being tested. If they're being tested, make things look good. If they're not being tested, don't. And this doesn't seem to be the case with FCA.
Yeah. Still a violation, but not...
Still a violation.
Not necessarily as egregious as...
No doubt they will get a better
hearing from the new EPA. That's right. Okay, thanks, Dirk.